Have you ever done something silly, something just for the heck of it, without thinking about the consequences? I did, and it changed my life. It was a dare, really, a stupid one, born from a boring Tuesday afternoon, and the kind of youthful arrogance that makes you feel invincible. My friend Leo pointed at the old Blackwood Manor on the edge of town. I bet you $100 you won't knock on that door. Everyone knew about Blackwood Manor. It was a local legend. A hulking Victorian relic swallowed by ivy and time. They said the Blackwood family vanished one night in the early 1900s, leaving behind a half-eaten dinner and a house full of ghosts. For generations, kids had told stories about it, daring each other to touch the rusty gate, to step onto the porch. No one ever went further. $100, I scoffed, trying to sound braver than I felt. Make it 200 and you've got a deal. The bet was made. My heart started to beat a little faster as I pushed open the groaning iron gate. The path was a mess of weeds and cracked stones. The air grew colder the closer I got to the house. It was like stepping into a different season. The porch steps creaked under my weight, each sound echoing in the unnerving silence. The front door was immense, made of dark, heavy wood, with a tarnished brass knocker shaped like a raven's head. I hesitated for a moment, the stories swirling in my mind. Whispers in the dark, faces in the windows. I could feel Leo's eyes on me from the street. I took a deep breath, grabbed the cold, heavy knocker, and let it fall once, twice, 3 times. The sound was deafening, a hollow boom that seemed to be absorbed by the house itself. I waited, a nervous grin on my face, ready to turn around and claim my money. And then it happened. From the other side of the door, an answer. A slow, deliberate knock. Asterisk. Knock, knock. Asterisk, the exact same rhythm. My blood ran cold. The smile vanished from my face. This was impossible. The house had been empty for 100 years. The police had boarded it up decades ago. I looked back at Leo. He was a pale silhouette in the distance, his jaw slack with disbelief. He had heard it too. My mind raced, trying to find a logical explanation. Maybe a squatter, a prankster who got here before me. But the sound, it didn't sound human. It was deep, resonant, as if the wood of the door itself was knocking back. I should have run. Any sane person would have turned and sprinted away, never looking back. But curiosity, that dangerous, fatal flaw, had me in its grip. Who was in there? What was in there? A part of me, a very stupid part, needed to know. I found myself reaching for the doorknob. It was an ornate black iron thing, cold to the touch. I half expected it to be locked, rusted shut, but it turned. With a click that echoed louder than the knock, the lock disengaged. The door swung inward on its own, revealing a hallway choked with darkness. A smell wafted out, a smell of dust, decay, and something else. Something sickly sweet, like old flowers and forgotten time. I couldn't see anything beyond the entryway. It was like staring into a solid wall of black. I stood there, frozen on the threshold. The $200 completely forgotten. The dare was over. This was something else entirely. The silence from within was absolute now. No creaks, no whispers, just that oppressive, waiting darkness. It felt like an invitation, a challenge. The house had answered my knock. Now it was waiting for me to step inside, and that's when I realized the true horror of the situation. It wasn't about ghosts or old family curses. It was about the door. That specific door. It wasn't just a barrier to keep things out. It was a barrier to keep something asterisk in asterisk, and I had just unlocked it. I had just accepted its invitation. I never went inside. I slammed the door shut, the sound a pathetic thud compared to the knocks. I didn't even bother to see if it locked again. I scrambled off the porch, tripping over my own feet, and ran. I ran faster than I've ever run in my life, not even stopping when I reached Leo, who was already running himself. We didn't talk about it for a week. We didn't need to. I gave him back his $200. It felt like blood money. I still have nightmares about it. I dream of that dark hallway, of that cloying smell. But the worst part of the dream is the knocking. It doesn't come from the door anymore. It comes from inside my own head. Asterisk, knock, knock, asterisk. A constant faint rhythm. A reminder of the door I opened and the invitation I almost accepted. I moved away from that town a year later. I needed to put as much distance as I could between myself and Blackwood Manor. But sometimes, on quiet nights when I'm alone, I'll hear a faint sound. A tapping on my window, a creak from my closet door, and I'll know that whatever was in that house, it heard me, it remembers me, and it's still waiting. Because not all doors are meant to be opened, and some, once knocked upon, will never stop knocking back. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you have a chilling experience of your own, share it in the comments below. And if you enjoy tales that make you check over your shoulder, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more unsettling stories. Stay safe out there.